Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, and I am actually in a very good mood. I mean, other than the usual, hey, Jim, you're 50, you've got back problems, and your knees are not exactly the greatest anymore. We all have our problems due to aging, whether it's physical pain or health, or maybe you've got, some PTSD or any, stuff like that because of your career. I mean, my father was retired from the military in his early 40s. Um, and he had issues that he didn't tell anybody because of the fact that he was old school, got to tough it out, that kind of thing. Um, I'm kind of stuck in between old school and new school because, yeah, I can understand you need to tough it out while you're working, but when you're not working or you've got um, severe pain or whatnot, that's when you got to go, yeah, I need to go see a doctor. Not because of the fact that I want to be out of work, but because of the fact that it's just the right thing to do. um, I have been trying to get doctor's appointments for the bronchial issue and the aches and pains and whatnot. But because it's very, my doctor, my primary, my secondary, they've been all booked up. Um, Jerry just told me if I call them, they'll try to get me in as soon as possible, even though my next doctor's appointment is for my annual checkup, and that's not until July. I don't think I want to continue to deal with this cough until then. But it seems like ever since the colonoscopy, I've had the cough. I have increased muscle problems, muscle aches and pains, and stomach issues. So it's like, yay. You know, some of it I can understand because I don't know how long I was laid on my one side while they did their business, but that caused all the fluids and whatnot to like gravitate towards the ground. Basically, since I was laying on my left side, it all gravitated to my left lung. And then when I came out of the operation, they put me on my back. Everything just started to rotate, and it caused, I woke up coughing basically. But I'm trying to get all that checked out because it's been 3 weeks and the coughing hasn't subsided. It's not as severe, but still it's there, which means I probably need like a rescue inhaler or a butyrol. What was that stuff that I was taking way back when I was a kid? A butyrol? I think that was it, a butyrol. But it's the only one that sounds familiar to me. Um, it might not be a butyrol, but for some reason that name is in my brain. But all in all, I mean, we're doing pretty good around here. Jerry today is a little tired. She did her blood test and it was a little above normal, just a little bit above normal, but she's feeling weak and tired. And I'm like, you need to make the phone calls to get the doctors to understand your current condition so they can either get you back into the office and expedite treatments. She has on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, her nuclear bone scan. They got the results back from yesterday's CT scan, and she had her sister read it to her because she was having trouble reading, and she knew I would have problems reading some of these words. But the gist of it is that the tumor on her kidney, or the cancer cell, or whatever you want to call it, on her kidney has shrunk. It's getting better. The other areas of the body are showing signs of healing. The nuclear bone scan will show any signs of bone issues. Um, Everything from tumors to um, any kind of damage that may have been done on the bones, so they can decide how they're going to proceed with that. Um, so I'm happy. I mean, everything sounded like everything was getting better and healing up, and you know, going back to as much normality as possible. Um, so I'm hoping that, well, I'm hoping by her birthday in July that she'll be in excellent condition and showing that everything is going into remission or dormancy or whatever you want to call it, and that she'll be able to finally get out of that back brace and put pressure on her leg and go back to a semi-normal life. The reason why I say semi-normal is because her cancer is not curable, but it is treatable and could go into dormancy or remission for God knows how long, you know. So it's one of those like, okay, she's getting better, she's getting healthier, things are looking better from what the reports say. So I'm just hoping they're not trying to sugarcoat something, which I don't think doctors will do. I think doctors give you the information bluntly and you decide how to deal with it. Um, so I'm happy about that. Um, Mama's back was hurting her a couple days ago, and it's because she was trying to do too much on Monday, and it affected her all day Tuesday. She was able to get up for a short period of time to eat. Wednesday she was doing a whole lot better, and she came out and ate with me. Um, Jerry was not feeling up to putting the back brace back on to come out to the dinner table to eat. She did go out to the dinner table Wednesday to eat with us, so I was happy about that. Or not Wednesday, Tuesday, I'm sorry. Yesterday was Wednesday. I'm getting my days mixed up because one of the things I've learned recently is with adult ADD, we have what's called time blindness. So we don't always recognize how long things have been taking or what day it is, or we just, you know, blank out when it comes to dealing with time. And this is information from researchers, so, you know, yeah, okay. I would like to go and get reevaluated for my various conditions, because if I still have ADHD, um, I want to be able to treat it. Any kind of psychological problems I may be having lately, I would like to get treated. It's just lately I have not taken the time to um, seek professional help due to all kinds of various reasons. I mean, I get so ultra focused on Jerry's health and well-being, or Mom's health and well-being, that I forget about my own health and well-being and seeking professional help. And then I also get this, like, I don't want to call it being overwhelmed, because I'm not really overwhelmed. I'm just like, where do I start? You know, Jerry, if she feels up to it, wants to get in her brace and on her rollator and roll to the door over here so that she can look in and help me with reorganizing and repacking her Harry Potter stuff into a bigger tote bag, or tote box, not bag, to be put out into the shed, which I've got plenty of room right now. But I wanted to do the Christmas stuff first and foremost, because I haven't gotten to that yet, and it's June. Unless I want to celebrate, you know, Christmas in July, which would be the more appropriate date for celebrating the purpose of Christmas, which is the birth of Christ, which, according to a lot of different theologians, astrologers and a few other different groups that study, have been studying the Bible for ages, they finally realized that the Star of David that was over Bethlehem the day that Christ was born was during the summer, not the winter. So it's an age-old argument that I'm just kind of like, you read the Bible just right, you can tell what time of year it is, because the time of year the lambs are ewing is usually summertime. That's a dead giveaway right there. That and the fact of the Star of Bethlehem, or the Star of David, however you want to put it, is in the sky the brightest in the summertime, not the wintertime. So it's kind of like, yeah, that just goes to prove something I've been saying for quite some time. So, whatever. But, sorry, I get down a different path every so often, but that's just because of the way my brain works. But anyhow, today is going to be an interesting day because Jenny and I have been talking about coming in here for the last day or two to straighten up this room. She wants to help me finish this room, and the problem isn't Jerry. The problem is mostly me, and kind of like, well, we haven't even finished the bedroom. We haven't even finished this room. We started here but didn't finish, and I'm tired of having half-finished projects. It's like I want to finish. I want to work on a project, finish that project, be done with that project, and move on to the next room. Yeah. Well, today it's more of a who's got the energy, who's got the frame of mind of doing it. Yes, there are excuses. We have various excuses for why we're not doing certain things, and 9 times out of 10, those excuses are legitimate. Because we've discovered that if one or both of us are not fully invested in doing the room or the project, it's either going to be half-assed or not even done at all. So that's why I'm kind of like, I know Jerry's excited to get the camping stuff situated and whatnot, because we're hoping that, let's say July 13th, they give her the go-ahead to start weight bearing on her leg with her walker instead of her rollator. She'll be so happy, and she'll try to make it to the actual bathroom instead of using her commode, which I'll be happy about, because then I can get rid of the commode. And then we're talking about, if it happens, if they give her the go-ahead, and I can't remember what day July 13th is. Hold on one second, folks. Let's see here. July. It's okay, July. July 13th is on a Wednesday. So we were talking about if she gets the green light, she gets to go ahead to start putting weight on that leg and whatnot. We were talking about, do we want to try to go visit Texas, or do we want to try to go visit Ohio, or what do we want to do? Do we want to go someplace and plan a little mini vacation away from home and whatnot, or what? Because I know if we go to Ohio, Mom is going to want to go, because we're going to want to go visit, and then go up to Amish country, go to our usual stops in Amish country, and then come back to Missouri. Now, none of us are working. None of us have to worry about a real job. So it wouldn't matter when we went, if we went in the middle of the week or not. No big deal. The only 2 big deals would be, okay, how are we staying, and where are we staying? Are we going to do our usual, let's get this hotel room for a week or 4 days or whatever, or are we going to try to, Mom can sleep inside my aunt and uncle's house, and me and Jerry can try sleeping in the van. Don't know where we're going to park it, whether it's going to be by my aunt and uncle's house or a local campground. I don't know. The only 2 concerns we had about doing something like that, even after Jerry was given the go ahead to walk, was her constitution. So, street sweeper. I can hear him outside. Yeah, that loud noise in the background, that's my street sweeper. If you can't hear him, that's great. If you can, sorry. I don't want to have to yell over his noise. He was by here yesterday. I don't see why he's coming by here again. Don't know. But July is a month away. July 13th is almost a month away. It'll be a month away Monday. But like I said before, the future's not written, so we don't know what we're going to do. The doctor was actually quite happy with Jerry's progress in her healing, because there was a point in time when, at the beginning, they were like, we don't know what could happen. You can get better, you can get worse. We're just going to put it, we're just going to label it as kidney cancer stage 4, which a lot of people say, oh, you can't recover from stage 4. I'm like, I beg to differ. I've heard people who've had stage 4 cancers of one form or another that have recuperated, healed nicely. It might have taken them a couple of years, but their cancer went into remission because they were not only doing what the doctor suggested, but they were trying to make a better life or better lifestyle for themselves at home. Like, for instance, we no longer drink tap water. We drink filtered water or bottled water. There has been a couple cases in Rolla of people getting cancer from the water in the treatment, the water in the pipes, basically. And we think that's what caused Carmen, mom's cat, to get kidney cancer or kidney failure because of tap water. Now, what could have caused cancer within my wife, we don't know. We don't even know how long it had been building inside Jerry's body until Jerry hurt herself. And literally, we ended up having to not run her, but we took her up to the doctor's office, and the doctor was like, well, what I can tell is you've got, injuries to your legs. We need to get you into a machine for a CAT scan and a bone scan and x-rays. And that's when they discovered, oh, yeah, she's got kidney cancer. I don't know of it. Well, I know of one person, not a family member, a friend of the family who had liver cancer, and that was not, that was because that particular person drank more than he should have. That's why I don't drink as much as I used to. Yeah. But, things happen. We don't know why. We don't know how long it took to get to the point where the person notices it. All those kind of things. But I think what has helped Jerry heal is her faith and her positive energy or positive attitude. Now, I'm not going to get into our channels or anything like that. I just know that we're both being honest and true and as positive as possible. For as I'm concerned, any of the naysayers or anything like that can go crawl back under whatever rock they came out of. Or as one of my viewers said, to basically tell them to go pound salt. I never heard that expression until today. I've heard a lot of other expressions, but that was the first time I heard this one. But I am doing my best to maintain positive energy and whatnot, because I think that would be good for both me and Jerry. I just know sometimes it's very difficult to maintain positivity because of the way the world around us has become. And it's not everybody who's negative. It's just the fact that it's um, misery loves company, and everybody's looking for that kind of company, and we're not. Um, as I can't remember who said it first. If it was my father-in-law or somebody else before I met my father-in-law. But the old saying was, you can attract flies faster with honey than vinegar. Now, I know a lot of people are like, why would you want to attract flies? Well, the term has to do with the fact that the flies are negative energy, and they love, sweet stuff and things like that, and they want to basically be in your business and create problems. Well, I'm going to turn that terminology I'm going to flip that terminology. Vinegar may repel the flies. Sugar may bring them to you. But you know what else sugar water can bring to you? Butterflies, hummingbirds. They're just as attracted to that sweetness. So instead of thinking about the flies, I'm going to think about the butterflies. I'm going to think about the hummingbirds. It's a prettier picture. Speaking about hummingbirds, I watched a TikTok not too long ago, and I've seen his TikTok once or twice, and I love it. He has a hummingbird or two that comes around his windows, and they're looking for the sugar water, basically the nectar. This man had become so patient with the hummingbirds, and the hummingbirds now ignore the fact that they're dealing with an actual person. Is he takes this little cup and he puts on one of those hummingbird looking feeder tops, and he'll just hold it. He'll just go to his window, open it up, and hold it there. And this one hummingbird would always come to him and literally sit on his finger and enjoy the nectar, the sweet liquid that he's offering up. And I admire a person who can do that. I love watching the TikToks or the videos where people have literally like hummingbirds or deer or various other wildlife literally walking through the open door and get fed hummingbird nectar or sweetbreads for the deer, or something of that nature. And it just the aspect or the possibility of that happening in somebody's life is a beautiful thing. I think it's like really the most beautiful thing, because it's mankind and nature coming into harmony with each other and accepting each other, and not being frightened by the human being, or doing something that could be harmful to the animal. There was one video that I was watching that made me laugh my tail end off, and what it was is a black bear, which are not as dangerous as the brown bears, but a black bear was sniffing around outside an Arcadia door, and a cat came out of nowhere and jumped at the window, and this bear just went, "What?" and took off. The other one I watched was literally a cat chased a black bear up a tree. So it was one of those like funny things, and I thought it was hilarious. But that's me and animals. I love how animals sometimes react. Like there was one video I watched, and I thought it was the cutest thing. It was a I don't know if it was a duck or what, but it was like a China white, is what they're called. They call them that because of their really white, pale plumage, and their, I don't know if they're like an extra large sized duck or a small goose, but this bird, this duck, I'm gonna call it a duck, was just sitting there, and this puppy, little bitty puppy, comes up and just curls up next to the duck, and the duck just sits there like, okay, sure, whatever, you know. And then they showed a picture of, or a short video of the puppy climbing up on the back of this duck, and like had its front paws gently wrapped around the duck's neck. Duck didn't seem to give to, didn't care, didn't seem to mind. But the videos that I love the most is when they take, like, it's a crate, two different crates. One has got kittens, the other one's got puppies, and they open up the crates, and there's no like ill reaction there. There's just no like, it was just like, oh, okay, playmates, But anyhow, I am going to get off this video because I have a few things to do. Or am I don't know. I know I have a few things to do, but sometimes it's amazing when I have the positive energy and I can feel it flowing through me, that I just want to talk about different things. And I can make this video, an hour long easily if I let myself do that. Then there are other times where it's just like, if I have too much negative energy, I also want to let that out. But the thing is, it comes out wrong. Or if I let it come out, it's misunderstood. Maybe if I have that situation going on, I should just label my video a venting session. I don't know. But the last couple of days have been really good days. I mean, really good days. I mean, the Tuesday when I took Jerry out for, her doctor's appointment, and then ran up to Dunkin' Donuts, and then ran over to Dollar Tree. It was a good day. A lot of people are like, how can you call that a good day? You probably spent more money than you should have. No. I don't keep track of how much we spent. I keep track about, was it a good day? Was it a bad day? Did we have fun going out? Did we have fun doing whatever we did around the house? It's not that I don't worry about money. It's just sometimes, because life is too short and you can never know when your ticket's going to get punched, that why worry about this? Why worry about certain things? Live your life. Live it up. Just don't go like overboard. Give yourself a budget. Try not to go over your budget, and have a good day. There's a movie coming out not sometime next week, and I can't remember what movie it was, but it's the last movie of the series, or the run. I'd have to ask her what movie it is, because I don't always remember things. Jay wants to go see it in the theater. And I'm like, okay, so we just need to save up enough money to go to the movies. That's something we want to do. Because she doesn't want to wait for it to come out on the little screen. She wants to go see it on the big screen. And I don't know if it's the Doctor Strange movie that's coming out, or one of the other movies. There's so many different movies coming out that I'm like, oh, it's the Jurassic Park movie, the new and last Jurassic Park movie, that is coming out on the big screen, and she wants to go see it. And I'm like, okay, well, let's try to save up some money and plan things out, and we'll go see it. So I'm like, all right, we'll go do that. So that's going to be a good day. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a good day. But like I said, Tuesday is supposed to be her nuclear bone scan. And as much as I would love to take her to Dunkin' Donuts again, I'm gonna have to like be mindful of the event and basically like, do you want to go to Dunkin' or do you want to go see the movie? We can't really afford to do both. At least I don't think we can afford to do both. I'm not sure. Jerry knows the money better than I do because I'm not really good with that area, which I should try to learn better of how to deal with that because there may be a day that I have to do it all because her eyesight or God forbid cancer takes her overnight. The only thing that I would be happy about is it took her in her sleep and not writhing in pain for God knows how long. And so one thing I do say about death, I'd rather, and I would wish the same thing on anybody I knew, I would rather slip away in the middle of the night peacefully instead of being, in a hospital bed or some care facility getting pumped full of drugs so I won't know about the pain. But the exhaustion and just the whole like slipping away in such a miserable, uncomfortable, bedridden or bed-stricken ordeal. My dad slipped away in the middle of the night because diabetes. Well, that was the one I was closest to. I think my grandmother did the same thing. She slipped away in the middle of the night. My Aunt Helen, I don't remember what they said about how she went. My one cousin who has been gone for 20 years, she had to deal with the ordeal of bone cancer and going through all that pain and suffering. Granted, I wasn't that close because they were up in Ohio and I was in New York. It would have been the same distance if I was here in Missouri, but still, it was just one of those like, just looking at her in her casket was just like, oh my God, she must have gone through hell and back because she did not look like somebody who was 2-3 years older than me. She looked like she was 70. That's how bad it was for her. And I can just imagine, no, actually, I can't even imagine what her husband and her 2 kids were going through while she was going through her ordeal. And the thing that made me mad, what made me mad the most, was the factor that the husband just didn't seem to worry about it. He left it in the care of somebody else because he had money. And that irritated me. That irritated me to no end. There's a lot of things about that man that kind of irritated me, but that's beside the point. I know there's a lot of people out there who have dealt with family members or close friends who had cancer. And now that I'm going through it and being the caretaker in the whole 9 yards, I can understand some of your pain. I really can. I don't know what's hardest. Not knowing exactly what's going on in my wife's body. Just having to deal with medical examiners and their reports. But being the caretaker and trying to deal with a lot more than I ever planned on dealing with, let alone I don't think I was fully prepared for all this. I'm still not fully prepared. I'm still tripping over my own feet and trying to be not only the caretaker when there's nobody else here, but to be the caretaker, the husband, the son, trying to take care of mom when she needs help, and taking care of Jerry when she needs help and doing all the stuff around the house and trying to find time for myself. Even though I'm not taking care of myself medically, I'm trying to take care of myself physically and spiritually, because I strongly believe that if you can take care of yourself psychologically and spiritually, the physical will fall in line. I just sit here and I've listened to everybody's complaints. I've listened to everybody's, do this, do that. And I'm like, look, I appreciate I really do appreciate the advice. Some of it is just like, no, that won't work for us. Or some of it has been like, literally, are you out of your mind? But there have been a number of people who have given some good, solid advice that I tried, and it worked to a certain extent. But then I have to get all these people who are like, oh, just drop her in a care facility, divorce her, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, 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 no. One, my family has been known for taking care of their own. Now, sometimes it doesn't always work out, but for the most part, if you're doing it right, everything's hunky-dory and fine and dandy. The only time I will ever even consider putting her in a care facility is when things are beyond my abilities to take care of, and the home health people that come in to help out once or twice a week for certain people, once or twice a week for other. We've got excuse me, we've got a visiting nurse that comes in and checks up on her and whatnot. We've got a lady who comes in, helps her get into the shower in between when I'm doing it. I try to get her in the shower at least once, maybe twice a week, and the shower person comes in once a week. So we're supposed to get somebody who's going to be helping with like home stuff. I think. I'm not sure. But then there's another person who's supposed to come in from a different company or a different group. She's supposed to come in for 3 hours to basically help take care of Jerry's stuff. Unfortunately, this person will not or cannot, according to the company guidelines, deal with common areas. In other words, they can't clean the kitchen, the bathroom, or the living room. They can only come in and do Jerry's laundry, Jerry's bathing if Jerry wants to take a shower or whatnot, Jerry's commode, Jerry's trash, Jerry's clothes. Nothing to do with the common stuff like cleaning the bathroom or cleaning. She can't even do the sheets and whatnot because of the rules and regulations. So that's the problem. But anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I'm sorry. You guys know what to do down here below. You guys have a good day. Bye.